What's up, everybody? Welcome back to How It's Done. Today we're going to be going over how to replace a ballast. This is in a T12 light fixture. It's got 4 lamps. Each one of these ballasts does 2 lamps. Typically on these 4 lamp fixtures, a ballast will be wired to do the outside 2 lights, and then another ballast will handle the inside 2. And here what we have is the inside 2 lamps are not working. I just replaced the lamps. So opened up the belly pan of the light fixture, which is this little piece that just clips on there. You pretty much just squeeze it and it fits inside these clips here and up here. So yeah, did that, turned off the power, disconnected these wires, which one goes to each ballast, and yeah, so now the power's back on. I did test to see which ballast it was, and it's actually this newer ballast that went out. Surprisingly, the old magnetic ballast is still working. The newer electronic one, not so much. So what we're going to do, if this was an existing ballast that had never been replaced before, like this, I would basically just cut these wires short here, cut these wires short here. Again, make sure your power and neutral are disconnected before you start doing this, but you would cut these, and then there's a little screw on the side here that you will use to remove the ballast. Same thing on this side. Little screw up there. So we'll take that out. This ballast will come down. Since this has already been replaced once before, I'm just going to undo these wire nuts and take everything down, and we'll be back to show you what it looks like. Alright, so we're going to do a side-by-side comparison with the old ballast to the new one. The old one you can see is basically just a 2 lamp ballast. It's set up for 120 or 277 volt. Same thing with this new one. If you're unsure of what voltage you have when you're working on it, it's always best to buy these. Just a couple bucks more, and it saves you from having to get up there with a tester and all that stuff and then go back to the store. So this one, the new one, is set up a little bit different. It's got the yellow wires coming out of the same side as the blue and the red, whereas the old one had them coming out with the hot and the neutral. But other than that, same exact thing. Set up for 2 lamps, set up for 2 lamps. You can look at it and it's wired the same way. You got blue and the red to one side, 2 blues to one side of one lamp, 2 reds to that same side of the other lamp, and then 2 yellows connected to the other sides of those lamps. Same thing here. So we're going to go up there, get this made back up, and test it out. Alright, so everything's put back together. We've got 1 red to each red that goes to the tombstones over here. These are actually called tombstones, where the fluorescent tubes get connected to. We've got 1 blue to each, and then these 2 yellows. We've got 1 yellow made to one and 1 yellow made to the other. So essentially what this does is these 2 blue wires right here go to this tombstone, and these 2 red wires go to this. And over here, what you've got is 1 yellow going to one and 1 yellow going to the other. I know it looks kind of funky. I've asked several of my mentors, why not just make all these yellows together and all these reds together? The 2 different answers that I've been given is you've got 2 different ballasts up here that the things are coming out of, and these are designed to have the load carried individually by lamp. So that's why they're all separated out. Would it work? Possibly. I don't know. I've never tried it. I've always done it this way, and I've never had an issue, so I just continue to do it this way. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get this belly pan put on. And we can look at that through the magic of YouTube video editing. The belly pan is on, and the lights are working. I'm not sure what these little yellow lines across my screen are. Maybe that's a side effect of the fluorescent, but yeah, we're good. Now, if you're doing both ballasts, it's not that hard to figure out which wires go to which. Basically, the yellows from one side will go to a ballast, and that same ballast, the red and the blue, will feed to the other side. And then, obviously, the other ballast, the yellows are going to go to this side, and then the red and the blue from this ballast will go to that side, because you want the red and the blue going the opposite direction of the yellows for one particular ballast. So not really all that complicated. If you cut the wires and then didn't make note of which ballast they went to, it really doesn't matter to ballast position up here. Two of them are, this tombstone grouping is all wired the same as this one to work the way I just explained it, where yellow goes to one side, red and blue go to the other, and vice versa. Alright, so it is all put back together and the light is working fine again. So yeah, that's how you replace a ballast. Thanks for joining me on how it's done. If you like videos like this, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any recommendations, please let me know.